Good. So in this case, I'm going to use this microphone while I'm standing here. But once we're going to have our panel discussion session, the microphones will be there, right? Okay, amazing. So the only thing that we have for the first panel, if I'm not mistaken, so just very quickly, 1, 2, 3. We have 6 guests, so 6 microphones will be there. Okay. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Then that's okay. Again, 6 guests.
Test one, test two. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting started in few seconds, please. Hello again. Good afternoon, Dubai. Good afternoon from us at CoinW, and good afternoon for our special guests and our esteemed partners, Dubai Blockchain Center, represented by Dr. Marwan Zar'ouni, and thank you for being with us with the long travel trips and the full schedule that you have. Our friends in DMCC, the biggest free zone in UAE, and building the biggest crypto center, I think for now in the world. I'd never say a crypto center, right, Zahir? Thank you for being with us, representing by Zahir. I want to welcome as well our partners, Cointelegraph. It's a long-term media partnership that we're getting with you guys. And thank you for being with us today, representing by Yana, Anna, Oli, and all the team over here. I want to thank Coin Bureau, one of the best KOL management companies, and representing by Nick and Guy and everyone. Thanks for being here. So, Dr. Marwan, what do we have tomorrow? Token. So that's how it comes from, tomorrow's token. And today, we're going to discuss tomorrow of tokenization. We're here today because of you, our trusted partners. So trust isn't about a word. It's about a collaboration between the whole ecosystem. And we're here to build this ecosystem, starting from security to early stage projects, to users, to builders, developers, students in the universities. They have the right to access the Web3. We're here because our daily hard work with our partners that you will see, all of them today, D2A2, Mr. Sakar, security, if you want to name them, like there are 7 security, we're working with them, and security is a high subject nowadays. So today, we're going to dive into the future of the organization. Welcome to tomorrow's token. Let's make it unforgettable. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce your host for today, our beautiful Maria Vovchak.
Hi. Thank you so much, Rudy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to CoinW's Tomorrow Token event. How are you feeling today? Amazing. What's the spirit? High spirit. That's the spirit. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathering for this exclusive gathering that started here in Dubai, back in the Museum of the Future. By the way, we, Dr. Marwan, all of our team also remembers that that was one of the most exciting events, and we are so excited that this, I would say, range of fantastic events that Rudy and his CoinW team is doing, it's also all the time impressive. Everyone who, by the way, who's here for the first time at this event? Okay, we have a few people, but all of the rest, you've been to CoinW's events, right? And you've seen the spirit, you've seen the quality, you've seen the dedication they put into making this one of the best events ever. You know, we are here to celebrate, first of all, as well, the remarkable growth that we've seen of the digital asset industry here in the region specifically. We've seen that Dubai's visionary leadership and supportive regulatory environment has made it a magnet for blockchain pioneers, exchanges, investors, founders, etc. The city exemplifies what it means to be a thriving, secure, safe, and forward-thinking crypto ecosystem. At CoinW, we are proud to contribute to this vibrant landscape by uniting key players across the crypto space. So today's agenda will be featuring 4 dynamic panels, each spotlighting a pillar of the industry. So we're discussing the government, regulations, what makes Dubai so appealing to everyone and each and every one of you. We're going to discuss layer 1 technologies. The brightest layer 1s are here today. We're going to talk about security and trust, because this is the foundation on each and every, I believe, it has to be in each and every blockchain company. And of course, the very important thing is building a community. So the top KOLs are going to speak today and going to share their influence, how they're gathering the crypto community and make it even bigger, inviting people from Web2 joining the Web3 space. So as I said, this event continues the tradition of conveying and gathering under one roof the best thought leaders, discussing the most important topics, and it is going to continue like this. As you MC, as a moderator, my name is Maria Vovchok. I'm a podcast host of Uncrypted at Dubai Blockchain Center. I'm very excited to be a part of this event, and I'm very excited to start with our first panel. You may think that the crypto markets are volatile, but the spirit, and I would say the energy here, is only going up, especially with our first panel, because we're going to discuss Dubai as Web3 frontier, regulation, ecosystems, and local innovation. And for this, I'm so excited to invite on the stage, and please give him a big hand, Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni, CEO at Dubai Blockchain Center, prominent authority in the field of blockchain technology, and internationally recognized blockchain tech advocate and keynote speaker who has been ranked by Cointelegraph as one of the top 100 most influential people worldwide in blockchain. Welcome. He'll be joined today on stage by Nassar Al-Ashkar, CSO at CoinW. Give him a big hand and be louder. Also, please welcome on stage Zahar Al-Orm, Manager of Ecosystem Growth at DMCC Crypto Center. Please give him a big hand. Also, welcome here on stage Sakar Erekyat, Secretary General at D2A2. Be louder, please. Please welcome today media host at Roxham TV, Nolan Bowerly. Give him a big hand and be louder. Please welcome on stage Austin Alexander, partner, head of Bitcoin strategy at 10x Capital. Be louder, please. And last but not least, this moderator will be moderated by the head of Cointelegraph Accelerator, Anna Shakola. Give her a big hand and be louder. Louder, please. Let's start. Anna, the floor is yours.
1-1. Let's go. Hi, everyone. A lot of familiar faces. Let's start. I'm head of D at Cointelegraph Accelerator. I help thousands of startups every year with registration, fundraising, partnership. So here we have a brilliant host who will promote, or maybe not, Dubai and this local region. Before we dive into the topic, please introduce yourself introduce your company, and give us reasons to listen to you for another 30 minutes. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Nassar Ashkar. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at CoinW. So I drive the growth, the short-term and long-term growth and strategic partnership at CoinW. I'm proud to be here with you today with the community. And actually, I feel at home because I'm next to Dr. Marwan, where we founded together in 2016 Dubai Blockchain Center. And we are witnessing today how big this ecosystem is becoming day after day, and the community bigger and bigger, and how Dubai is becoming the hub of the whole world of crypto and Web3 space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Marwan Azaroni, and as Nassar said, we together started, actually he came up with the idea for Dubai Blockchain Center and told me you should do this here in Dubai, and the rest is history, as you know. So we are very proud to have you here in Dubai, and very proud to have Token as well here, as well as all the exchanges and CoinW being our partner here, and welcoming you guys here to a wonderful week. And you haven't seen anything yet. Tomorrow's Token and tomorrow's events are going to be even bigger.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you to talk about something that's super close to my heart. My name is Slakar Erikat. Just by a show of hand, who knows Arabic? All right, perfect. For everyone else, I just taught you your first Arabic word because Slakar means falcon in Arabic. And I've written my name next to Blockchain and Blood in 2015 when I was lucky enough to write the strategy or be part of writing the strategy for the Dubai government, which became the first blockchain strategy that any government had. Since then, I think we've all seen how amazing Dubai has done. Why you should listen to me? I don't think anyone should listen to me, but I promise you that I'm going to make it as exciting as possible while you're listening to me.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zahir.
Mic drop.
I'm the DMCC Crypto Center Manager. The DMCC Crypto Center is a comprehensive Web3 ecosystem, part of DMCC Free Zone. We specialize in licensing and registration of companies looking to expand into Dubai. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
That was great, man. I'm Nolan Bowerly. I was an early CoinDesk fellow. We covered the original creation of the Dubai Blockchain Center. I was there back then. I was working out of New York City with CoinDesk for a long time. I traveled to a lot of places doing this stuff. I helped set up CoinDesk Korea, CoinDesk Japan. I spent a lot of time in a lot of jurisdictions when it comes to this stuff, a lot of stuff in America. I programmed all the Bitcoin magazine shows over the past years, the Bitcoin shows in Miami and Las Vegas coming up, and Nashville before. And these days I host a morning show with Roxham TV, and I do a lot of editorial there. So we're trying to be the first ever 24/7 content company in the space. We're going to do 24/7 TV channel, and it's a pretty interesting thing. So I cover everything from the media point of view. This is my 4th time in Dubai this year, 4th time this year. So I have a lot of fun things to say about it, and I hope you're going to be able to use them.
Hello, yeah, Nolan is great. I was absorbing your content for many years now, and he has some of the most high signal, I don't know, media in the whole industry for many years now, more than like 10 years. And then like 12 years ago, my name is Austin. Like 12 years ago, I met Dr. Marwan here in Dubai, and I think I was like the first person selling Bitcoin locally. I mean, maybe he can tell you, maybe there was someone else. Maybe
he was my first customer, 50 Bitcoins, I remember.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think maybe I sold you Bitcoin. I think you have the other way around, but maybe not. But yeah, I was doing a lot of business here over the past decade. At one point, I was the CEO of Kraken Mina, which was the first licensed enterprise, I think, like crypto enterprise in the country. But it never really like spun up operations. It spun up for like 6 months. I left the company, and I'm currently a partner at 10x Capital. And so if anybody is looking to raise money or take your company public or provide any sort of structured financing, things like that, we can help.
Thank you, Austin. Cointelegraph has similar experience to CoinDesk, Cointelegraph Korea, Hong Kong, Japan, many others. Give me one reason why Dubai specifically turned into crypto epicenter for the past, let's say, few years. Just one reason. What was the most crucial?
It's not one reason, it's three reasons. It's the amalgamation of three reasons. The first thing is Dubai has some of the best infrastructure in the world. So it's infrastructure, but not just infrastructure to, these amazing rooms that we are in and that we're consuming, not just the amazing roads and airports that we're consuming, but also the digital infrastructure, but most importantly, the legal infrastructure. The next one is talent. Try to land anyone from around the world over here. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter where they are, you can land them here. So really your talent pool is the entire world. And last but not least, it's capital. Capital is available here and is moving here at unprecedented rates. Why has Dubai? And obviously, that all of this wouldn't be possible without the visionary leadership of their highnesses that are all out there talking about blockchain and crypto and AI. So talent, capital, infrastructure.
Yeah. I 100% agree, and I will add one more important thing, which is Dubai was the first to put the first regulatory framework since 2017, and they were standing next to each and every company to let it grow within this ecosystem. I remember me and Dr. Marwan, we opened the space for so many companies. We had thousands of companies coming here, supporting them. We had the direct instructions from the Dubai Future Foundation to open the space, to be closer to them, and to the first country who stepped on placing the best regulatory framework in the whole world, where everybody today, they are copying Dubai, and especially the new framework, which is VARA, the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority.
Yeah, I would say Dubai is a sandbox for innovation, regulatory clarity, and a launchpad for businesses. So I remember back in 2018, the DMCC was the first to license crypto companies in this region, while other governments were rejecting crypto and banning it. So this is a testament on how Dubai adopts innovation. So again, agreeing with Sakar on that, but having the ability to accept innovation and accept new technologies is very important. So vision in that is number one.
Zahar, how many companies do you have right now in DMCC? How many licenses have you gave? Can you share some figures, exact figures?
Yes. We've crossed 650 companies, and we're hitting the upper 700 companies mark, and we're very happy about it.
Thank you. No, I've seen.
Yeah, I'll give I love the answers about energy and infrastructure. I 100% agree. I'll just give a media point of view because I work in the media and I have a good perspective. And here's an anecdote that I think might be useful. We just opened a studio in San Francisco, and that opened in January. It's our first physical studio. We're about to open another one in London. We just signed the lease. Now, my job is to go fill those studios with content. So I go to San Francisco, and what do I get? I get a lot of technical people. I don't really get many people with a lot of media talent, let's say. They're not natural performers. They understand the engineering. They understand the computer science. That's great. But of course, you got to do two. You got to entertain and inform. Now, at the studio in London, really easy to get entertainers. I mean, really easy, right? I get people who are great on a mic, but don't really have the technical chops. So it's kind of this weird thing where I can get the technical talent to go on camera in San Francisco. A little harder to get the entertainment talent or just the style points. London is the opposite. But when I come here to Dubai, I can find either or. Now, we don't have a studio here yet, but it's real easy for me to find someone who knows what they're talking about and is also talented and able to hold a conversation and create the content. So it's a very strange combination. I can find it in New York. New York has that. There are places, but it's very few that has this combination of both media savvy and the technical chops. They understand markets. They understand the computer science. They also understand that you got to entertain. And that's a neat thing about this place, and it sticks out for me. That's why I've been here 4 times. A lot of shows, lots going on. So that from a media point of view, it's kind of amazing. When I'm in and trying to produce those shows in London, I'm always telling them, you gotta start earlier because you got to get on the Dubai time zone, and you got to get those interviews from Dubai because they're here, right? They're here. So this falls into that London studio for me, and to see the kind of talent that's come here, it really is a human capital question. And my final anecdote about it, before all this, I was a lawyer, and I used to run around. I was a lawyer in Japan and Korea, and I'd run around all those cities a lot and spend a lot of time in Hong Kong. And this was all just before Bitcoin. And I remember you'd see all these, really great-looking, talented foreigners all over Hong Kong. They're all here now. I was just in Hong Kong. They're not there. When I look around here, I see them all here. And that's a pretty amazing thing for a place like this to have attracted so quickly. So again, it's just a very simple thing. You've got talented people that are able to perform, but also know their stuff, have the technical chops, understand markets, and that's a really deadly combination. It's a triple threat from media point of view. So a lot of good things can happen from that.
What stops you from opening a studio in Dubai then?
Well, it might happen. Yeah, we've been talking about it. So Roxham is two companies. There's Roxham TV, which is the media arm. There is an exchange side to it. It's not a crypto exchange, though. It's a Bitcoin-denominated everything exchange. So commodities, U.S. equities, that kind of stuff. We just don't keep dollars in it. So there is a lot of internal thought that, the philosophy we have at Roxham is the best market follows the best money. We saw it in history, right? New York became the best market in the world because the dollar was supreme. London was the best stock market when the pound was supreme. Amsterdam was the best market whenever their money was the big thing. Bitcoin doesn't have a natural jurisdiction, so it's kind of up for grabs, and that's a neat thing to see. Most countries are sort of these roadblocks to innovation, whereas Dubai embraced it as an opportunity to leapfrog and jump ahead. So having an entrepreneurial government, one that is really thinking like an entrepreneur, is not common, especially in a kingdom. You can see it in America where it's like 4 years and you're out. If you don't have a great idea, if you're not Donald Trump, get out of the way, someone else is going to come and take it. Having a kingdom that's instilled that kind of entrepreneurship and that kind of desire to embrace new technologies and leap forward like that is exactly what we're looking for when you're trying to create a Bitcoin-denominated and settled market. That's a pretty revolutionary thing, right?
I see.
So that's it.
Austin, it's super interesting. You're one reason why the crypto progress happened here in Dubai from expat perspective.
One reason, number one reason is probably taxes, because there's very low taxes here. So obviously that is a huge booster when you're trying to be a jurisdiction that attracts capital. But obviously that's not, in and of itself, isn't going to cut it. Obviously Dubai attracts a lot of high net worth people in many different industries from many parts of the world, but in crypto specifically, for the last decade, many of the major legacy financial jurisdictions, I'm sure you've heard the buzzword of regulate by enforcement. Well, what that really means is that there's no clear rules written out. And what happens is they end up having the enforcement agencies, the agencies that come to level fines and arrest you and put you in jail and steal your business and these types of things, that these are the agencies that end up creating the regulation by enforcement, because they contact you, tell you you've broken some law that probably doesn't exist or didn't exist before, there was no interpretation of, and they basically kind of have bullied a lot of the industry in that way, at least in much of Europe, especially in Western Europe, and the UK has been awful, obviously the last 4 years especially, but the US, a lot of other jurisdictions, the New York Department of Financial Services with the BIT license in 2014, on and on and on. And it's not just the West, obviously China's banning the miners, they've done plenty of horrible things to discourage the industry to come up there. Japan's had some horrible regulations. If we want to talk about horrible regulations, we can easily go on and on and on and on. And so Dubai, having already the foundation that they've been working on this project of attracting capital and attracting talent for decades, they basically had to just superimpose some promises, even that's really was, now we're starting to see some things coming to fruition, but in the past it was just to basically the promise of not doing that was enough to attract a lot of attention and a lot of companies coming to explore how they could build their businesses here. I mean, CoinW is a perfect example to come and locate perhaps like if not the entirety of the business, headquartering the business. I think in CoinW's example, that's what they're attempting to do or are doing. And you've seen, but at the very least, to incorporate a huge part of it, like much of their international operations, things like that. And so I think the only thing missing, though, is, and hopefully this is what's the next step is that you don't want to just attract the talent and attract the capital just to sit there. Dubai and UAE in general really have an opportunity now to be a financial hub as the world Bitcoinizes and where the jurisdictions where the Bitcoin financialization is going to take place and where Bitcoin is going to be integrated in the traditional financial systems have massive upside.
We're going to chat shortly about what else can be done. We discussed infrastructure, we discussed legal field. Can you share?
But, wait, I'm sorry, but we didn't hear from Dr. Marwan. I mean, I'm waiting for the answer. What's the one thing?
You guys had a good coverage, so I'm not going to add anything, to be honest.
Dr. Marwan just sitting and like, we did it. Like, yes, yes.
No, he feels proud.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words, I think.
I know you can spice it up later with my next question. Can you name particular successful partnerships, big international company that placed their headquarters here in Dubai, or particular cases that brought you moving headquarters to Dubai? Can you be more specific? Give us example.
Yeah, so when it comes into such a decision, you have to look at it in a very agnostic way. So we had a long checklist to look at it. And actually, Dubai ticked all these checklists. So we were looking at a place where we will have a regulated space, because when you are regulated, you will be protected from your competitors. So we, as a Tier 1 exchange, we would like to be protected because this is our edge from others, because we do provide high-level end of services, and we have a engagement with a huge community. So as we speak today, we have more than 14 million registered users on the platform. So this is a huge responsibility. You need to protect this crowd in a very regulated space. This is very important. Infrastructure, second. Government initiatives and the support from the government, where there is no gap between private and public organizations. You can knock the door anytime and go and meet with any authority, with any ministry, open up the conversation. The regulation here is very adaptable, so they can change it on the spot, not going through any bureaucracy like other countries. They have to vote to change certain laws or certain procedures and so on. So here they do it on the spot, directly. They listen to you, they sit with you, they let you grow, and we think together how we can make it better. And from here, you can expand to the whole region around, where there are a lot of opportunities. And this is our job. Today, we are growing in the whole Middle East region to make our platform one of the best platforms. And it's not going to be only a platform to trade in. However, it's going to be, we're bridging the gap between our CoinW platform and the end users by connecting end users to genuine projects, because we have partnerships with different layer 1 blockchains that will be talking about it.
Can you name specific L1 partnership that
For
you
example, in the blockchain space, we have the partnership with the layer 1, Solana, Avalanche, all these top ones. And we have international programs going all over the globe with them. So we fly to Europe. We incentivize new talents to develop, to be in the space. And then here users, they can come in and invest in these projects. Instead of users going on certain events and by themselves trying to discover which project that they can be engaged with. With this way, we are bridging this gap between users and builders and SMEs and put them together and let it grow step by step. So
we will do way more. Dr. Marwan, can you name the biggest partnership, the biggest company that you specifically brought into Dubai?
So I don't want to name companies, but what we thought about when we actually started the Dubai Blockchain Center is to be agnostic from day one. And I think it was important for us to attract, number one, the talent to come here, focus on education, number one, and then focus on advocacy as well. So cater to the executive office, to the Dubai Future Foundation, the other regulators, whether they are law enforcement or public prosecution or judges, bring them all up to speed for when it comes to education about what is the value take from blockchain technology, what are cryptocurrencies, why is Bitcoin important as a financial kind of instrument, as a store of value, as a medium of exchange, and beyond. You know, and like Austin was mentioning, Bitcoin can bring in power through what it can provide. So once they understand the first principles of how Bitcoin works, understand the fundamental values of that cryptocurrency and everything that comes with it. And when Ethereum came out with the ICOs and crowdfunding mechanisms and that kind of stuff, all of this we had to handhold everyone through it, whether they are the law enforcement or even companies that provide traceability for crypto transactions, whether they are judges that judge in the cases, public prosecution that need to understand the technology as well, and need to understand the legal framework that comes with it and create legal frameworks. So for example, one of the things we did, we equated digital signatures to wet signatures, and that took a long time, but finally happened. And once it happened, now any kind of digital transaction that you sign, it holds you accountable for that signature, and so on and so and this was not an easy journey. Once we had that whole infrastructure, physical as well as legal, as well as the competency of everyone in Dubai at the level of international world-class kind of competency, this is when we saw the international institutions coming in, whether they are native to crypto or actually just jumping into crypto. The big exchanges, the big market makers, the big talent pools and talent ecosystems like Solana, like Polygon, like Ethereum. We have ETH Dubai today as we speak. So a lot of these guys came here because this is where the talent is, where the government understands the value proposition, where the ecosystem for SMEs is thriving and flourishing, where you are spoiled for choice when it comes to jurisdictions. Speaking of the MCC, which gave the first crypto license, I was one of the first, if not the first one to get an OTC license, and it was from the MCC. A regulator that understands what to regulate, not try to peg crypto to traditional finance. That's a huge importance when it comes to understanding and being very close to the technology, having roundtables with Sadr and with everybody who is within the industry, whether they are on the legal side, whether on the technical side, whether they are a founder. Bringing everybody on the table and asking them for their feedback is a huge thing that we think it's natural for us here in Dubai because we do it for every industry, but it's foreign to any other country.
I'm very conscious of time, so I'll give you a very fast answer. I'm very proud of the fact we've helped more than 600 entities move to the UAE. And with that, here in the DMCC, I remember in 2021, we welcomed CZ for his first license within the space. If we look at international organizations, Binance, for example, just gathered a $2 billion investment from the Abu Dhabi government. Sitting in Dubai, it's easy to forget Abu Dhabi, but Abu Dhabi was the first regulatory framework for exchanges to be licensed. Right, so really, it's this effect of both Dubai as this amazing destination, but Abu Dhabi also with a very mature framework. Crypto.com, I think this is public information, I hope it is, moved their entire operation for outside of the US over here, right? The government has partnered with Chainalysis to go into what the doctor said, to actually find out and support law enforcement. I don't think, and I don't just say that because I'm sitting on stage here or my life is here, I do not think, and I'm happy to be challenged, any government in the world is as active and as welcoming as the UAE government. You can find Her Highnesses and His Highnesses speaking about this, from the top of the leadership down to managers in government. Everyone has this as an agenda item because they understand what the gent alluded to, that we can become the new financial center of the world, right? So it's not which companies moved here in crypto. The largest companies in crypto moved over here, and you know, we can count more than, and today we have more than 2,000 companies within Dubai's ecosystem that are active in blockchain, and that is the largest number in the world. There is no other number. I'm again willing to be challenged around it.
Thank you. 600 out of them is registered in DMCC.
The largest ecosystem is within the DMCC. Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to give you a few names and a few partnerships that we worked on. But I'm going to give credit to Vara because with the presence of regulations, this opened up the door for many institutions to expand into Dubai. Mainly at the Crypto Center, we have Bitpanda, which is one of the largest European exchanges, expand into Dubai. Today, Animoca Brands announced their expansion to Dubai. They have an event running right now in this building too. 1inch, Bitcoin.com, Singularity DAO. So there's a lot of companies expanding here from the protocol side, Sui, Biconomy as well, from the media side, and from the regulated businesses. So one of the partnerships that is close to my heart and I'm proud of is Cointelegraph, actually expanding to Dubai with a great office and great presence here, thanks to Sam and the team. Yeah, that's it. And we've got partnerships with accelerators, market makers, investment companies, the likes of Bybit, Solana, Boba Network, Brink, TDFi, CV Labs, which is bridging ecosystems as well. So there's a lot of passporting in terms of experience and in terms of ecosystem benefits that is happening there. So I would say Dubai is a hub not only with numbers, but with actual facts and statements that are present here.
Yeah, since we're running low on time, I'll go real quick. You know, when at Bitcoin Magazine, we had the biggest Bitcoin crypto show in the world for years in Miami and Nashville, and this year Las Vegas, which will probably be the biggest ever in the history of the world. But we tried a lot of these foreign events. We tried one in Amsterdam, Hong Kong, and last year, for the first time ever, we tried in Abu Dhabi, and it was by far, not even close, orders of magnitude more successful than any other event we tried. The first edition of Bitcoin MENA, which was on the F1 weekend last year in Abu Dhabi, was larger than Amsterdam, and we've been doing that for 3 years, larger than Hong Kong. And then I do another event here, which is the Satoshi Roundtable, which was just straight up steal from America. That was an event that had been going on in the early days in America with Bitcoin. All the Bitcoin OGs have been going there for a long time. I went for years. And after COVID, of course, we weren't able to do the event properly in America. Very difficult on some of the islands where we'd done it before. And who opened the door to us but here? And now we can't get out. We're stuck. We love it. And so we can't change it. We'll be back again next year. I don't know if it's public, but I'm pretty sure it'll be back in January. Already, yeah. I love working at the Satoshi Roundtable. I'm one of the agenda people. It'll be in January, February maybe, I think, 2026. Looking forward to being back.
Austin.
What was the question?
Can you name any specific partnership, any specific company that moved headquarters to Dubai that completely changed the narrative or the landscape?
Change the narrative of the company?
Change the perception of Dubai, especially we are experts, we are foreigners here, right?
Oh, I don't know.
And
I don't know that, but I'll just answer a different question. I think something that's cool is that one thing like that as far as making UAE and Dubai a proper international financial hub is kind of the capital markets are a bit immature compared to maybe what they should be. Tadawul in Saudi is like an order of some magnitude larger than ADX or DFM, and I think that's one thing where there's a lot of low-hanging fruit for the UAE, and I think the embrace of the crypto businesses, the crypto economy, and all that, they might be able to use that if it's done intelligently and strategically through ESCA or whoever's thinking about this right now. That might be able to do something there to really like catalyze the capital markets here, which would, I mean, help business growth and investment here. And right now, we're seeing one of the key successes of this cycle are kind of wrapping Bitcoin into these like MicroStrategies, and you know, there's a long tail of little ones that are coming up, wrapping Bitcoin into publicly traded traditional equity, and maybe they could do that here. I don't know.
Tim, 30 minutes is nothing for all these brilliant minds. Dear audience, you have unique minds here in this space. We can ask any questions. Thank you for this panel, and let's keep evolving in Dubai.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such bright examples. It shows one more time why Dubai is such a big, amazing magnet for all the Web3, and not only Web3 actually, AI, gaming, and all the other talents, tech talent coming and staying here. Thank you so much. That was really exciting. Once again, give a big hand to our amazing panelists. This is how we kick off. And today, by the way, I promise you we're going to dive deep into layer 1 technology. This will be next. But before that, let me ask you, who likes quizzes here? Please raise your hands. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 5. How many people here who likes quizzes? I like quiz. Different, like, because in this case, we can play. So by the way, today, guys, after the second panel, we're going to have a short break. After that, we're going to play a quiz. And you can win something as, can I name it? We're going to, last time, by the way, I remember I won it because I won one of the bicycles, but I decided to not take it home. So last time it was a bicycle at the Museum of the Future. Today, we have AirPods. By the way, I want to win AirPods. For me, it will be really useful. And also iPad, but a different one. I think that one is going to be like much newer, like the newest model as well. So please, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. Did you scan the code while you entered the space? When you enter the ballroom at the entrance, you can actually find, CoinW team will help you to scan the QR code, but we also show it on the screen. So you'll be able, everyone who's here, just prepare your phones, prepare your cameras, and we're going to play very soon. But before that, as I promised you, let's dive deep into layer 1 breakthroughs, competition, innovation, and future evolution. I'm so excited to have on this stage. Please give a big hand to Jeffrey Milligan, Global Head of Partnerships at Cointelegraph. Give him a big hand. Be louder. Louder, please. Please welcome on the stage Rishant Kumar, Polkadot's Global Head Ambassador and Protocol CEO at Kilt. Please give him a big hand. Be louder. Please welcome on stage Alex Shihadi, Exchange Partnerships and Wallets at Avalanche. And be louder, please. Louder. Show me your energy. Did I tell you today? It doesn't matter whether the crypto markets are volatile. We are just having our energy going up. I'm so excited that this panel discussion is going to be moderated. And please, give him a big hand. Guy Turner, co-founder at CoinW. Be louder. Guy, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Mic's working. Okay, good. Welcome. My name is Guy Turner. I co-founded CoinBureau, what feels like a very long time ago now. We've been covering goings-on in the crypto space for 5 or 6 years now. on YouTube and on other forms of social media as well. We recently, recently I say about 2.5 years ago, relocated here to Dubai. So it was interesting listening to that previous panel and yeah, reminding ourselves of all the many reasons why we're here in this wonderful place. But that was the previous panel. We're now going to talk about layer ones. This is a much more bespoke panel, I guess you'd call it. There's only 4 of us, guys. So I'm going to be firing quite a lot of questions at you over the course of the half hour. Layer ones, I think it's fair to say, are at an interesting point at the moment. It's an interesting moment for the space. The layer one market leader is perhaps going through its most difficult period that any of us can remember. There are new and competing layer ones popping up all the time. The technology is constantly evolving. And of course, layer ones are the bedrock, the foundational space underneath so much crypto and blockchain technology. So what happens in the layer one space reverberates outwards. So it's great to get an opportunity to talk about some of those developments with you guys today. But before we do that, can you just all introduce yourselves?
Yeah, of course. Here we go. You on? Test. There we go. Test. There we go. All right. Happy to be here. Thanks to CoinW, our esteemed partner. I am Jeff Milligan. I am head of BD and partnerships at Cointelegraph.
Check. I'm Rishant, CEO at Kill Protocol and a global head ambassador at Polkadot. I've been in this space from past since 2013. So yeah, I've seen a lot of things happening in the space.
You're an OG.
Kind of.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome. So I'm Alex. I lead the exchange and wallet vertical for Avalanche at Layer 1. I've been in the UAE for 10 years now, so I've seen the evolution across both Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I moved into crypto a little bit before that as well, so similar times.
Okay. I want to start off just to get from each of you some thoughts on just given the different networks that you work for, the different platforms that you represent, your different experience and backgrounds. You're all probably going to have varied, maybe differing views on things like scalability and decentralization. So my first question to all of you, what do you think is the most common misconception that people have about layer one blockchains? Who wants to? Jeffrey, do you want to lead us off?
One of these guys can.
Okay.
That's all you,
Rishant?
I think as of today, the decentralization, the ethos on which the exact Web3 started about decentralization and the privacy and stuff like that, that is getting diluted. Because right now the chase is who is more faster at cost of what?
Yeah.
At cost of decentralization, because you can make your shit centralized and get the speed. But there are very few protocols, those who are still going behind the original ethos, how actually all of these things started. Back then, this is not to offend anyone, crypto bros were kind of against governments getting involved into this, because that was the thing, that this is owned by us, but now they are praying that this government should pick it up, that government should pick it up, and stuff like that. So the dilution of decentralization is, I think, probably one of the areas which I think the layer ones are kind of forgetting.
Okay. I think maybe as well you could argue that there seems to be, because so much of crypto culture is about number go up, that from a technical point of view, the things like decentralization tend to get ignored. People are more interested in how the token's going to perform, not how decentralized the blockchain in question is, how many validators, etc. And I guess that's something that that's something when we review a layer one for Coin Bureau, we're always trying to talk about that. We're always trying to point out just how decentralized is this? Is it decentralized at all? Because I think there are many claims made about decentralization, and some of them I think are a lot more ambitious than others. Alex, so before we move on, what do you see as the big misconceptions that people have about layer ones?
So the biggest misconception at the moment is it's difficult to set up a layer one. So with the recent upgrades from Avalanche, so last year Avalanche 9000, Etna, we've rebranded sort of subnets, and so it allows you to deploy your own L1s and specific to your use case. So for gaming, high throughput. For maybe financial services, maybe you want KYC, maybe you want clawbacks or sort of, asset management on chain. And so there are tools now like on Avalanche Cloud, Gelato, so you can deploy these technologies with one click. Going back to what you were just saying, you can define how many validators you have, where they are, what the reward structure is, do you want gas fees? So, it's giving a lot of power to developers to build application-specific layer ones. And, what that means is the users don't get the frustrating user experience with crypto, right? We see people trying to shoehorn applications in one L1 and then subsequent L2s, and it's not really built to fit, right? We're in a stage now where we can build very specific tools to make user experience, seamless. And, the goal is that we can build self-sovereign L1s, decentralized, but not have to care about, the complexities of commands, the complexities of wallets. It's that freedom, the original Bitcoin ethos, right? Having peer-to-peer, but not at the cost of, being robbed by, a phishing attack or, misplacing a phone or fires in LA, right? There's a lot of, problems that we have. And, going back to Bitcoin, we're all probably here because of this. Like transactions on a blockchain, is this a feature or a bug, right? So now we're having sort of zero knowledge sections of transaction to really improve what we're building.
Yeah. I'm not a developer myself, but I can imagine for so many people building in the space now, anyone who was trying to build early doors, in the early days, even, post 2015, post Ethereum launching, they must look at it now, how easy it is to do, as you said, to spin up your own layer one. This is something that would have been so much harder just a few years ago. So there is, really tangible progress being made there. Let's cover the topic of regulations, because I think we have to, really, given everything that's happening in the United States at the moment, and of course here in Dubai and elsewhere. Regulations are a really important factor in the whole crypto space at the moment. So, Jeffrey, can I ask you, Cointelegraph has obviously reported from a whole load of countries, a whole load of jurisdictions who are all implementing or not implementing crypto regulations in their own ways. So from your experience and just from the experience of your colleagues at Cointelegraph, what countries' regulatory policies do you think have been or are most friendly to the development of layer ones? And how do you see these policies being reflected globally?
Yeah, so I'll start off, I have my kind of general three in my mind. Cointelegraph is working with actually the government of Kyrgyzstan to support them with a gold-backed stablecoin. So we see countries that might not be expected to be a potential powerhouse in the crypto space that are looking to get into initiatives that are really going to drive crypto adoption in their country. From a global standpoint, I think none of this will come as a surprise to you all. We have the UAE and Dubai, right? Very clear regulatory framework with VARA. Really encourages development, encourages companies to come here and build. We then have someone like a Singapore. Again, very crypto-friendly regulation, clear guidance. And I see Singapore as more of like an innovation hub, right? On the APAC side of things, you have, for example, Hong Kong. The stance from Hong Kong hasn't necessarily been crypto-friendly, but I think they have reopened crypto. And there we're seeing more of a focus from a institutional framework and really allowing clear institutional guidelines to focus on those big B2B businesses as opposed to, let's call it, say, smaller chains or other projects. Listen, all countries, whatever country has the most clear regulation that really looks to be proactive and promote development, that is where talent is going to come. That's where investment is going to be driven to. You see someone like the U.S., and we talked about it a little bit on this last panel, where the U.S. has been a very, enforcement, regulation by enforcement, right? Yeah. And has turned away companies. We'll see with the new Trump administration if that changes things from a government and regulatory standpoint. But generally speaking, I think those are probably the top three.
Yeah. And it's fascinating, I think, at the moment, just over the last couple of weeks as well, we've seen a lot of movement in that direction from Pakistan as well. I mean, we just saw, I think CZ was just appointed as a sort of official sort of crypto ambassador, crypto advisor for Pakistan as well.
With Kyrgyzstan as well. Yeah, he's advising the government of Kyrgyzstan as well in conjunction with us. So it's interesting. You see these major players, right, big names that, all of the, let's call them quote unquote smaller governments or ones that you might not expect jumping into the game.
Yeah. It's amazing how much time it frees up when you're not running a major exchange, I guess, isn't it? But yeah, it's great to see figures like that out there because, as you say, like there is a genuine prize up for grabs here in terms of regulation, and I think again the UAE is a good example, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk now. There's a lot of talk, I think, in the layer 1 space about the role of layer 2s. And certainly in Ethereum's case, there's also starting to talk about layer 3s as well. And I'm sure all of you have sort of varying opinions on that and the necessity of layer 2s and even layer 3s. But Alex, can I just throw this one to you? Because I want to talk a bit more about Avalanche in particular. So Avalanche, obviously you mentioned the subnet architecture earlier. But this also offers the potential for customized layer 2 solutions as well. So how do you see the role, how do you view the role of subnets in achieving, this idea of sort of synergy between layer 1s and layer 2s?
So Avalanche steps away from this, right? So Avalanche has always been a multi-chain ecosystem. Mm-hmm. The founder, Emin, has been extremely vocal about this from day one. And with the recent upgrades, it's become more apparent that, what we've done is we've sort of stepped away from subnet and layer 2s. So these are self-sovereign L1s. Okay. So you can set them up and you can customize them as you wish, but the ability to then reference the Avalanche main chain, and what that means is you can then pull liquidity from the C chain. So, you don't need to go negotiate with Circle, Tether to get stables. That's inherent to the system. You don't need to go set up your own Oracle network because you can reference the prices from the C chain. So, it's building exactly what you want, but with that interoperability, right? I think, we're now at a point with many L1s that we know it's a multi-chain future. So we need to build, better user experience, abstract away the technology and the complexity. And so, having self-sovereign news channels that reward people for, reading and creating content, right? And so, this is what we're trying to do. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it, not to sort of diss the other chains, but I think Ethereum has had a lack of leadership, right? They wanted to be quite standoff and let people do things, and I think that's been a detriment. Every L2 is pulling in a different direction. It's very VC-led, and you know that's not worked out, right? And so I think what we're doing is we're concentrating on the right sort of ecosystems. We're gaming, you know, the recent Off the Grid game. Not sure if you've played. You know, it's seamless, right? So any transaction is an NFT transaction. We're building real utility into the token. There's a couple more AAA games that are coming out. We have a lot of RWA projects coming out in North America, Franklin Templeton. We're dealing with JP Morgan. Blockchain is becoming more useful now, right? And you know, the multi-chain thesis is something that Avalanche has had from day one, and we're now at a point where we're building real tech.
Yeah. Rishant, Jeffrey, I want to throw this question to either of you, really, because I want to follow up on what Alex was talking about there, because I think this is important. You know, there seems to be a real sense of, I think when you talk about Ethereum especially, and I don't want to criticize Ethereum here, but you know, you talk about Ethereum and there's this huge layer 2 landscape now. Many people feel that the layer 2s are parasitic to the layer 1. I don't want to focus too much on that, but I want to focus, I want to see what you guys feel the perception of this is to an interested observer of the industry. You know, is the Ethereum ecosystem becoming too fragmented? Is this becoming harder and harder for people to kind of keep track of? And an extension to that question, you know, are we looking at a future in which every single L1 specifies in, you know, very specific niches? Is the purpose, because I think Ethereum has, you know, long tried to be a sort of general purpose blockchain, a general purpose layer 1. Are we going to see increasing specialization? Is that how individual layer 1s stand out in a crowded field? That's a very long-winded question. Rishant, do you want to feel free to answer some or none of that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this goes back to when Gavin actually developed Ethereum, and soon after, a couple of months after that, he kind of realized that this thing will not work out, and he exactly spanned it out. Like, he envisioned it that going forward, this is what is going to happen. And it's not in public domain, but Parity Technologies, which was initially ETH Core, which Gavin founded, they laid out 25 reasons why Ethereum is not going to scale, why Ethereum is not going to perform as it should have been. And he went and ended up creating Polkadot, which was, I think it was way ahead of the time, and that's why it was not perceived in the way it should have been. The multi-chain architecture of each chain having a specific use case, what you were talking about right now. So each parachain was supposed to do one specific thing, and all these parachains are L1s basically. But they are not parasitic in nature to Polkadot. In fact, it's opposite. It's adding to the more resilience to the chain instead of extracting from the chain. So to answer to that, I think like this will be a very bold statement, but I think ETH needs a new CTO right now who could possibly take it or give it a new direction or something like that. Kilt, being one of the parachains on Polkadot, had a very specific use case over there, following identity. And we have been working on that vision since day one in a very compliant way, in a very regulated way, regardless of whatever is happening in the market. Because these are certain sectors which are very core and important and not as sexy as DeFi or something, and might not grab the immediate attention of the user. But in the long run, it will be proven that this will be needed going forward for every chain to perform in a compliant manner. I hope I answered a little bit of what you asked.
A little bit of my very long and rambling question. Yeah, It's interesting you say, it's not as sexy as DeFi or anything like that. I see what you mean, and I kind of agree with you. I also feel that at the end of the day, we're talking about technology here that is going to underpin so much of the future, so much of the future of the internet and the way people exchange value online, in the way people do everything online. At some stage in the future, all of this is going to be underlined by the technologies that we're talking about today. And I guess the irony of it is that we're all so involved in it and we talk about it so much. The user of tomorrow is barely going to be aware, much less, sad to say, most of them aren't going to care what technology it is underneath.
In fact, they should not even know what they're using. That's the whole thing. They should not even be aware of that they are using a blockchain app. It should look like a normal app, but under the hood, the shit is happening on blockchain. I mean, in my perspective, when I'm envisioning for Kilt what the new product is going to be, I envision it like that the person should not interact in a way where he needs to get hold of tokens, wallets, mnemonics, and all these things. Abstract it away, and then only you will see that kind of explosion.
Yeah.
Just a very basic analogy here, but just very similar, to onboard people. When, we all first started sending email in the 1990s, you had no idea what HTTP and ICP, all that kind of stuff was. You knew the internet as sending emails, right? That was the use case back then. So if there are ways that we can do that, and again, abstract the technology out, not focus on the technology itself in the forefront and just look at the application of the technology.
Yeah. Because, at the end of the day, people want cool stuff that works, don't they? They want an app on their phone that they can open up and it does what it says it's going to do. And so long as that happens, they don't care. Which is, I just feel it's it's great to be sitting here talking about this underlying technology so passionately when really the aim is for everyone to forget it even exists. Okay, let's quickly touch on issues of scalability. This one, I'm kind of throwing this open to you guys, to all of you. But everyone always talks about TPS, transactions per second. This is something whenever we research a layer 1 project, we always look at the TPS, or I should say the claimed TPS. There always seems to be a bit of a mismatch between claimed and actual transactions per second. But maybe Alex and Rishant especially, but you guys are working in this. What other metrics should we be using to judge a layer 1 and its performance?
Well, slightly more on the user experience is finality, right? Like TPS in maybe gaming or trading on dexes, but finality of transaction is important, right? Because that's the uncertainty there, and again, people don't deal well with uncertainty. But going back, the scaling solutions are, I think we're there. By having multiple L1s running on servers wherever you need. Probably the biggest risk factor, as I found out yesterday, is 90% of the world's servers are split between China and US. So like all the AWS, Alibaba, this is where everything is. So maybe we need to have mobile validators, or move a little bit more away from that. We're seeing that kind of thing for some of the deep-in projects. But I don't see, at least in our community, like TPS or transactions a problem. Our gas fees are minimal, and that's the thing. And then again, going back to customization, user experience, you can set up networks with no gas fees and do it in other ways, and that's what people want.
Yeah. Rishant, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, last year, I guess, in November and towards the end of the November, because there was this too much noise about TPS, and Polkadot wanted to do something different. Mm-hmm. And they actually ran a live on production spamming. They spammed the relay chain, the Polkadot main chain. and the highest TPS with the 23% of the users of the system was 148K TPS, which by far is the largest shown in production, not on papers, not on the claim.
Mm-hmm.
And this was live telecasted. Just to prove the one point that this is not the only factor you should be looking at. As he was saying about the finality, DOT has introduced cores, like CPU cores. So we have a project called Mythical Games. They have almost like 6 million users. They are playing a normal game, NFL Rivals, which is a very famous game of NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The users don't even know that it's actually running on blockchain. They don't know that, what's running behind the hood. But all the action, what is happening, they need intense throughput. And they're using multiple cores. So with one core, you achieve 6 milliseconds of block time, 6 seconds of block time. And you keep adding the blocks, keep adding the cores, and depending on your usage, you can bring down the block finality time, stuff like that. So customization. Now, in identity, it might not be needed. We don't need that instant finality, because not that every second one person is claiming it's KYC. It could be over a period of time.
Yeah.
It could be over a period of days. So we don't need that kind of finality. It's fine. If it's taking 6 seconds, it's very much fine. But for gaming and certain other kind of projects, they might need high throughput, and it's totally customizable. So I think, yeah, that's what I just wanted to mention on, because you specifically mentioned about the TPS, and certainly hit on my mind, like something like this happened last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, before we wrap up, I just want to ask a couple more questions of you guys. I want to talk about tokenomics. We talk about TPS. That's a big factor that people pay attention to. Tokenomics as well. Jeffrey, can I pass to you on this one? So you're obviously an observer of the industry. Are there any particular tokenomic models that spring to mind for you as being particularly good in striking a balance? You know, because there's this tricky balance, isn't there, between incentives and long-term value. And so are there any that stand out to you, and are there any emerging models that you feel are gaining traction in the space?
So I am going to pass this to the technologists in the room. I think for the final 2 minutes, I think you guys could do a much better job of sharing your opinion there.
To burn through this quite quickly, as you said, Guy, the number needs to go up. If you have a token, you need to see why holding it has economic value to you and the community. You need to build that network effect into the token. And if you don't, the token's going to suffer. And if you don't, you could just be using tokenized dollars, dirhams, anything you need to pay for that service, right? So, you know, again, you know, these L1s, these networks, you know, we're trying to engage people to use product and be rewarded for product. And so that token needs to reward people. So you need to have some kind of deflationary effect and payback for people using and holding the token. Everything else is added complexity that's not necessary.
Yeah. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay, final question. I just want to fire this very quickly at all three of you. Imagine we're sitting here 1 year from now, 2026. What do you think would be the biggest change in the layer one space that we might have seen? Jeffrey, can I start with you on this one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit before, but L1s that are popping up for very, very specific niche use cases.
Mm-hmm.
And then L2s that are building on top of those L1s. I think just very simply put.
Okay. Rishant?
I specifically don't have an answer for this question, because it's if I was able to imagine that, I would have done
great point.
You'd already be working on it.
So if I was able to predict the future, I would have like just done the shit right now.
Fair enough. Alex?
Consolidation of technology. We don't need so many L2s on Ethereum. or any other L1. I think there'll be a consolidation of virtual machines and programming languages. We'll sort of refine that and get better at building blockchains.
So fewer blockchains.
Fewer technologies. Yeah, still multi-chain. So as I say, the application-specific blockchain is fine, but the use case of technologies will narrow, and so it'll be easier to access. Developers will build quicker and better tools.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you all very much. The layer one space, constantly moving, constantly evolving. It's been great to get your thoughts on it today. So Jeffrey, Rishant, Alex, thank you. Great to talk.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks, Guy.
And thank you, Guy. Thank you so much for this. That was a great moderation. And I would definitely additionally would say that unfortunately Alex Scott, he wanted to join us, but unfortunately he couldn't because of under some circumstances. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, who likes quizzes? You remember what I told you before? You can today win either AirPods, either iPad, or one more prize. Are you ready for today's quiz? It's going to happen in 20 minutes. Before that, you have 20 minutes to last. You have 15 minutes to grab a cup of coffee. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's get back in 15 minutes, and let's play, okay? I'm very excited about this quiz. The only thing that I feel that is a bit frustrating for me that I cannot participate myself. But nonetheless, please be back in 15 minutes. We have something very exciting ahead, okay? Do we agree? In 15 minutes, will you be back? We're coming back for our quiz. Thank you.
check.
Where am I? Something there. Can we cut the music, Anna?
Hello. Hello. Guys, you want to participate with the game that we have online now? Oh God, food is more important. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Wallah, no one. No one listen.
Nobody's there.
Yeah, woo.
The sound is there. Yeah, we're trying to turn on this one.
Rudy, I think we just have to do it ourselves.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to play? Who's ready to participate in our quiz? Do you remember I promised you? I'll kindly ask, please invite all of your friends, all of your colleagues, everyone who is enjoying their coffee break. Please join us right now in the ballroom because we are about to start one of the most exciting quizzes today. So as you can see on the screen and as you can see on our table, today you can win either DJI Osmo Mobile Gimbal for the third place, either a laptop for the second place. And the winner today can get AirPods Max, the best AirPods out there. So ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Only those who will be the most active. I'll explain you very quickly the rules of the game. But it's very important that all of your colleagues, all of your friends who would like to participate in this quiz, they would join us and they would sit next to the stage because we're about to start. I'll give you just maybe 2 minutes tops to take your seat. And we are about to participate in one of the most exciting quizzes. Are you ready? Okay, I can see. And I know exactly what you like to start, let me guess, because there will be less competitors, right? So there are more chances for you to win, right? I support that on the one hand, but on the other hand, we need to have everyone who would like to participate, we need to have them join. Rudy, can we start or should we still wait until... Okay, so it means, ladies and gentlemen, those who are really willing to win, they are here, they're in a ballroom. So are you ready to start? Amazing, fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, did you have a chance? Can I please ask again to come back to the QR code? Please show us again QR code on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please scan this code. It's very important, imperative that you scan this QR code right now. Please do this right now, as soon as possible, because otherwise you won't be able to participate in this quiz. Did you scan the code? Everyone? Please raise your hand who didn't scan the code. Who didn't scan the code? Okay, why didn't you? Okay, who hasn't scanned the code? Everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, this quiz will take only 5 minutes, but it's important that you scan the code just right now, because after it's gone, you won't be able to participate and you won't be able to win a prize. Okay, let's start. So very quickly, once you scan this QR code, please join the game. You would have to also share your private data. Please start, and in this case, you have to give your full name, your organization, and your email. So this is how we will be collecting your data. But please, ladies and gentlemen, start. Did you start? We will have 8 questions. And what's important, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Once you answer the question, you have to do not only provide the right answer, but also be the fastest, okay? So it's very important that you do not only provide the right answer, but you're the fastest. Okay, Rudy, are we ready to start? Okay, fantastic. The first question. Maximum BTC supply. Look at your device and give the answer. So it's either 24 million, 21 million, 23 million, or 43 million maximum BTC supply. You have only 12 seconds left. For each and every question, you're going to have 20 seconds. But again, remember, those who will give the answer, who will be the fastest while providing the answer, those will be the winners. And it's gone. Time's up. Okay, let's go further. We have 19 winners. So 19 winners, and somebody among them can win one of our prizes. Okay, let's go further. Quiz question number 2. Which cryptocurrency's logo is this? Okay, get ready. Is it XRP, Chainlink, Litecoin, or USDC? Which cryptocurrency's logo is this? The one that you can see on the screen. 10 seconds is left. XRP, Chainlink, Litecoin, or USDC. And the right answer is obviously on the screen, which is Chainlink. 27 people answered correctly. Congrats. Please mind that you're the fastest while providing the answer, you're closer to the win. Let's go further to question number 3. Be active, please. 20 seconds only to remain, but please be active. The first commercial Bitcoin transaction was for pizza worth how much Bitcoin? 100, 10,000, or 100,000? So the first famous Bitcoin pizza, how much was it worth? 100, 10,000, or 100,000 Bitcoin? I think it's one of the most obvious right now celebrations that we have in the blockchain community. The right answer is obviously 10,000, and we have 20 winners. Congrats. Please be quick with answering the question number 4. How many days did Trump pause new tariffs, not including China? Okay, get ready. 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, or 90 days? How many days did Trump pause new tariffs, not including China? Please provide the right answer. You have only 20 seconds for each of the questions, but please mind, you have to be the fastest while providing the right answer in order to win. And today, the right answer to this question, how many people gave the right answer? Okay, 18. Congrats, you are correct. Because somebody is following what is happening in the world of new tariffs under the new Trump's administration. He postponed new tariffs for 90 days. Okay, question number 5. Which blockchain introduced proof of history as part of its consensus? Which blockchain introduced proof of history as part of its consensus? Is it Algorand, Avalanche, Cardano, or Solana? Which of these blockchains, 12 seconds left, Algorand, Avalanche, Cardano, Solana has proof of history consensus, algorithm consensus mechanism? The right answer is yes, of course, Solana. 14 people got it right. Okay, so we have only a couple of more questions left. So again, quiz question number 6. What does paper hands mean? What does paper hands mean? Somebody who's buying fast, somebody who's selling fast, holding strong, or none of the above? What does paper hands mean? Buying fast, selling fast, holding strong, none of the above. And the right answer is, of course, selling fast. 19 people gave the right answer. And somebody of you was the fastest. Let's see later on who is that. Let's go to quiz question number 7. Okay, be attentive. What event is often cited as the biggest single crypto crash? The biggest single crypto crash is either Terra Luna collapse, FTX collapse, 2020 COVID-19 flash, Mt. Gox hack. So which of these events is cited as the biggest single crypto crash? Terra Luna collapse, FTX, 2020 COVID-19. Yeah, we have 14 people who gave the right answer. By the way, it's also very interesting how different thoughts are. You see how many people also thought it's FTX collapse? It's not exactly the right answer in this quiz. The right answer is Terra Luna collapse. Biggest single crypto crash happened before. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the last question, and be active. Please, this will be a task to match. Okay, so please match. What is halving? What is gas free? What is HODL? And what is CoinW? So A is payment to process a transaction on Ethereum. Secure, simple, seamless. Slang for long-term holding. Cuts Bitcoin block rewards by 50%. I think this one is going to be also one of the pretty simple ones to decide. But for this one, you have a few more seconds to decide and to provide the right answer. Okay, this is the last task for today of the quiz. So please be attentive, be active, and be the fastest today. 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Of course, halving it cuts Bitcoin block rewards by 50%, 1. Then gas fee is obviously the payment to process a transaction on Ethereum blockchain. HODL is a slang for long-term holding. And CoinW is secure, simple, and seamless. Congrats! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in a couple of minutes, I think even in a couple of seconds, we'll know. Rudy, can we already show who is the winner? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Boying. Is that correct? How should I properly pronounce his surname? Bukrins. Andrei Bukrins, congratulations. Today you were the fastest. Yeah. But I thought okay, let's go to the middle of the stage.
Let's make it quick.
Okay, Andrei, first of all, congrats. But in this case, we will start. I wanted to start
Maria,
actually from the third place. But Andrew, I think he's so happy. Should we start from the first place? Okay, so you're the winner. You clearly today, Andrei, you were the fastest. You provide the biggest number of the right answers. And you are the winner. And you know what you're getting? Okay. I wanted to leave it till the end, but still, nonetheless, I want to give you, is that the right, Rudy, I'm sure that this is the right price, right? That's the funniest thing. Rudy, we have a debate because our winner wants a different price. He doesn't want the one that You can have a different one. Okay, so which one? Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
What is this?
No, it's an iPad. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it once again. Congrats. Let's go further. Once again, give a big hand to our winner, Andrew Boynch. He was the winner number 1. Who's number 2? Payu. Okay, Payu. Is that correct? Is it how should I pronounce your name? Okay, so I'll tell you, since we are today still provided the opportunity for you, you could have won, so you won actually a Apple iPad, sorry. Will you take the iPad? I'm sorry, the second one is a laptop. Oh, my bad, I was under, maybe because I wanted an iPad. That's why I said it's an iPad. So, okay, you can also choose. It's either laptop or AirPods. Okay, I'm sorry, like, Rudy, I need your help because I can't. What should I do? Okay. Okay, thank you. But please don't come back anymore because otherwise it's going to be, okay, you have 2 prizes, other 2 prizes. Which one do you like to win? Okay, this is for you. And DJ Osmo Mobile 7. We have also the winner. Okay, let's take a picture, very quick one, because we have to move to the next panel. Okay, quick picture, congrats. And the last prize today goes to James Richmond. James Richmond today is the winner, and you're getting amazing prize. Congrats, you're still the winner. Appreciate it. Let's take a picture, very quick picture, and let's move on to our next panel. Camera is here, but I think camera is there. Camera is everywhere. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Give a big hand to our winner, James. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, meanwhile, let's move on to our panel discussion because, first of all, let me announce each and every one of our speakers because I'm very excited about the next panel. We're going to focus today on building security. From exchange defense to industry collaboration. Very excited to welcome on the stage. Please give him a big hand. Michael Liu, Chief Security Consultant at CoinW. Give him a big hand. It'll be louder. We're so happy to welcome on the stage. Give him a big hand. Dima Budorin, CEO at Hacken. Be louder. David Sun, Senior Solutions Architect at AWS. Be louder. David Sun. Next, please welcome on the stage Jason Jiang, CBO at Surtiq. Be louder, give him a big hand. Give a big hand and welcome on the stage Alex Cheng, Compliance Solution Director at BioSyn. BioSyn, is that correct, by the way? How should I properly pronounce that? Okay, right. And last but not least, give a big hand to Andrew Sayat, Chief Cybersecurity Architect at Cypher BC. Be louder, please. This panel will be moderated by Maria Vovchuk from the Dubai Blockchain Center. For those of you who don't know me, it's an MC here. Okay, so gentlemen, today we have one of the most, I believe, exciting panels of today. And I would like to jump in and let's kick it off and let's analyze what has happened for the last year. Let's focus just on the last year, but not only. If you can pay example, what are the most impactful security incidents in Web3 that you have observed that you could share with us? And what lessons do you believe we should have learned from those incidents? The biggest incidents, who'd like to jump in? Dima?
Yeah, because it's the easiest one. Yeah, I don't know what the guys will tell after me, because obviously the most important incident is a Bybit case.
Okay, if it's for the last year, if overall, which one do you think? Is it still will be number one?
I hope this is the, you know, like we as an industry, like Certic, BioSyn, we made a lot of efforts so that projects are doing smart contract audits. And right now we have to, you know, to destroy this idea that every project has to do a smart contract audit, and if he did, that's enough. Because obviously it's no longer enough, obviously, And I think smart contract audits, and we see it from the last year hacks, smart contract vulnerabilities are less and less appearing in our industry, and right now we see more of operational security, supply chain security problems, and hopefully this Bybit case will lead for the industry acceptance that teams and projects have to do way more than just smart contract audits.
Okay, thank you. What beats Bybit, or there's none? There's nothing. Who would like to jump in? Okay. Would you like to add something?
What's the question again?
The question is, what is the biggest incident that happened from the security perspective in the Web3 space, and what kind of lessons have we learned from that?
I would have to agree with Dima by far.
So far,
yeah, it's just the amount of the money.
Quick question: is it because of the volume of the funds stolen, or is it like from the way how they stole it and the how elaborate they were while creating all of this scheme?
That's a very good question. First of all, it is about the amount of the fund that's involved, but it's also a good reminder that security is not just about audits. This really exposed some unforeseeable, attack vectors in this space. And I was just talking with Dima that it's really, really hard to prevent this from happening, or it's similar, or it's
Yeah. Oh, since we're a bit pressed for time, the only thing that I will kindly as well ask you to answer, because I also was analyzing how much, let's say, funds they, for example, North Korean hackers stole in 2023. The biggest number at that time was 660 million. Right now, in one haste, it was $1.3 billion. From your perspective, what should we expect more? So, Michael, I'll jump to you because, this is like a bright example. Your other exchange, one of your competitors, they faced it. CoinW employs various advanced technologies for and multi-layer protection for their customers, which is very important. But could you please, first of all, break down these layers, how they work together, and how in this case this layered approach is critical? So do not, in today's threat landscape, so do not let any of these future incidents happen.
At CoinW, we always see security as the first opportunity, first priority. To ensure our system, we apply a layered mechanism in our internal system. So the layer including the code layer, the operational layer, and the client-side layer, and the server-side layer, and also the company-wide security mechanism, and also the full coverage testing layer. So all these layers work together, like the code layer, we apply the strict secure coding practice, and also with a multi-layer code review, and also we use the security tools to scan the source code to ensure that the source code is safe. In the operational layer, this operational layer always means that we build our internal policy and also to procedures.
Yeah.
So under this policy and procedures, we should, all these policy and procedures is followed the international standard like ISO 27K and also the COBIT, this kind of standards.
Can you please just hold mic a bit closer?
Okay, sorry. This is the operational layer, and also the client side. Everyone knows the client side is the website and also the app side. So in this side, the MFA and also the device fingerprint, this kind of technology we use to keep our clients safe, especially when they're using the first end, the app and the website to access their fund. So there's many mechanisms in place to keep their fund safe. On the server side, we apply the mesh architect. So which means that we keep or minimize the network segment and also minimize the privilege. Which means that when even there is one server is hacked or compromised, the other part is not affected. The whole entire system will run without any affected. So this is server side. And also there are three other side also in place, like the company-wide defense mechanism, which means that we monitor all the transaction and all the behavior happen inside our organization. So if there anything happen, is anything that we see this suspicious activity happen, and then we can monitor all these kind of things. And then the security team will investigate what's happening actually, what's the reason, why this happening. So which means all the activity across our organization is monitored. So to ensure the inside is really secured. And the last layer is we call it the last layer is covered test. So which means all our system is under ongoing testing, which means the testing is a regular test on the app side, on the website, on our website, and also on our internal system. Also, testing is not just conducted by our internal team. This testing also is done by our partners, security partners, outside partners.
Yeah.
So we make sure that the internal system, not only the client side, but also the server side, are all tested on the continual level. So all these layers work together to make sure all our system is secured.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, I'll kindly ask you to keep your answers very precise, quite short, because we have a lot of things to discuss and we're pressed for time. Dima, as you said, right now smart contracts, in this case, just checking the smart contracts is not enough anymore. What is Hacken's approach when we're talking about going beyond surface level assessment to address both the technical, operational depth of Web3 security? What's your stance on that?
I would say that everybody is afraid of regulation, and everybody, because it's like kind of
stifling innovation.
Thing that you don't necessarily need to do, and why you need to do that. But in fact, they have a lot of good things that can help companies to be secure. And even, like the document, the main document that's have to be submitted to DORA is the European Union compliance for Web3, and for the VARA and ADGM is like risk framework of whole organization of yours, where you have to think about like all your critical components and to think about what can go wrong, about the risks, and then to list all the measures, how you are mitigating those risks, and then also describe how you are testing it, and preferably with the third parties. And like if companies will do this assessment, they will for sure minimize a lot of risks. At Hacken, we're trying to build the horizontal company that can provide to the customers the Swiss cheese model approach, when we put layers after layers after layers, security layers, in order to minimize those risks. But again, I think that project founders should not be afraid of regulation. They should take it seriously when it comes to this first important document. Don't put it in ChatGPT. Like really, it's your money. Do this job properly.
Thank you. David, how does AWS approach the breadth and depth of Web3 security from infrastructure level point of view, first of all, especially for high risk, in this case, workloads like DeFi?
I would say right now, I think the focus, especially about the kind of like the security incidents, events being happens, becoming massive and massive.
a lot of customers coming to ask us about how could we do a secure DeFi environment, and it's all that the confidential computing, where the technology right now is getting a lot of momentum here. Also, I think MPC TSS technology is being, I think across, I think the last 2 quarters, is keep the focus on the industry, how we can do even more. Although we have a lot of good open source framework, even say like our partners, Fireblock, but down to the reality, how to operate it in a secure way, back to the, with the mechanism, how to kind of like doing the resharding, things of like that. The industry is still finding a very efficient way how to adopt it in the right. And then this is why I think we have the luxury to support a lot of customers with these conversations and come together to think of it a better approach to tackle these things. Yeah.
Thank you. Jason, where do you draw the line between technical audits and operational security? And how does CertiK, in this case, provide both sides, that both sides are adequately addressed and taken care of?
Thank you for the question. So in our CertiK case vocabulary, the technical auditing is more referring to the code side Ripple audits. Versus the operational audit is more related to, for instance, key management, cloud configurations, incident response, all those things. We think those two kind of go hand to hand. You can't really just ignore one to the other. Although CertiK was more recognized as the code audit firm, but we have been working tirelessly on the operational side as well. For instance, I think we're one of the first companies that obtained the ISO 27000 and the SOC 2 certifications. We're helping our clients to gain those certifications and the compliance side, just to cut it short. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. How does BioSyn assist its clients in protecting their assets and avoid the influx of illicit funds into their wallets?
BioSyn provide 24/7 real-time transaction monitoring for our webster to detect the potential risk from like hackers or any severe risk like sanction or terrorist financing. So we provide over 28 risk category, and each category provide a flexible threshold to help you to dedicate the AML according to your AML policy to set your threshold to help you to detect the potential risks. And for example, if you trigger any sanction or terrorist financing risk which relate to like OFAC SDN list or FinCEN's special measures list, so we can help you to identify this risk and give you the real-time alerts. And secondly, we have a dedicated team that to focus and to analysis every instance happens. And take the Bybit case as an example. We update our labeling database in 1 hour, so we well protect our users to identify the hacker risk and give them the promote alerts.
Thank you. Andrew, CypherBC takes advantage of such technology as MPC. Can you please share with us how this technology, first of all, contributes to the depth of security? And secondly, how does it help to mitigate the risks whenever we're talking about specifically Web3 industry?
Thanks for the question. First of all, we have different security services, but MPC is certainly at the center of those security technologies. If you look at the past, the security incidents mainly happened because of 2 reasons. One, I would say, is private key compromise, and the other one is transaction approval process. And the second one is more related to operations and human mistakes. At the technology level, CypherBC focuses on MPC to break down the private key into pieces and put them in different places with different parties, so that we don't have a single point of failure. And MPC stands for multi-party computation. It's not like we create the key and then break it down into pieces. It is created in a distributed manner from scratch. So nobody knows what the true private key is. And that's how we remove the single point of failure and promote security.
Got it. Let's move on to the next question. I would like to cover the common attacks vectors, and let's focus on this, but also very briefly because we are a bit pressed for time. Michael, from your perspective, what are the common vector attacks that CoinW has faced so far and faces today, and how can you prepare for the future, taking into account all of the AI-driven exploits that you're seeing? AI is rising. There are a lot of, I believe it will be used in exploits in the future as well, AI-driven exploits. What are you doing to protect your clients?
Okay. So at CoinW, based on our data, so the most common attack vector right now is phishing and social engineering. And also we focus on insider threat, and also the, how to say, the insider threat and just forgot. For the phishing website, according to our data, so every month we found nearly more than 100 phishing websites. So we're always working with our the security partner. When this website comes out, we will take it down. So to ensure that our clients will be not be phished. So this is the most common attack vector. In terms of the AI, I think right now AI is a very powerful tools. This powerful tools is not just only for our security professionals. These powerful tools also can be used by the hackers. So because hacker can use powerful to use AI to do something to scan your network to find the vulnerability in your system, and also maybe doing some email phishing, crafting the email content. So this is AI can be used by the hackers, but the AI is also present another very powerful capability in security part. So we can use AI to developing some system to help us to analyze the big amount of log data, and also to detecting the potential security issues. So for us, right now we are already apply AI algorithm, AI system in our system. We are do some experiments to how the AI can help us to find out the suspicious activity in our day-to-day transaction. So we hope that we can work with the security partners in the future, and we can see how we can maximize the capability of AI to safeguard our system. Yeah.
Thank you. Dima, very quickly, from your recent experience, which, in this case, attack methods are evolving the fastest? And what do you do to prevent them? What do you recommend as well? What kind of, in this case, defense mechanisms do you recommend?
If you talk about smart contracts, then I recommend to set circuit breakers, so-called circuit breakers.
Once again?
Circuit breakers.
Circle breakers. Okay.
Circuit.
Circuit. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
so
my bad.
It
Circuit.
means, yeah, so you have to monitor your smart contracts, and if you see that there is a potential threat, if someone deployed smart contract and put money from Tornado Cash and started to interact with yours, you have to immediately identify it. There are tools. We have such tool extractor, and if the attack has started, you have to block the liquidity. You have to pause the smart contract so that the attacker cannot drain the whole thing. So I think this is the must, and it has to be built in the core of smart contracts, such feature.
Thank you, David. How is AWS enabling Web3 clients to defend against API vulnerabilities, smart contract exploits, and phishing at cloud scale?
let's take it as a quick one. I think right now, what we are seeing, we offer a platform, vibe coding. Actually, definitely that will be a word that is kind of like a buzzword right now, but it is very difficult to achieve in enterprise level, because if you kind of like a put business context for the developers and then asking the LM in the public sense, that is very risky. What AWS right now, here we provide a platform where we can unlock all these kind of LM in your private cloud, where the model providers only have the access to their escrow account, which means that all these kind of like all the prompt, all the things where you're sending to the LM is kept within your cloud, is not leaking, and then also the securities engineering can look into what every developer is discussing. And then this unlocks lots of potential, because when developers even say like developing on API, smart contract, whatever, they feel very safe right now. We use our Bedrock LM so that they can just having a lots of, not just skip those very fundamental stuff like a reentrance, coding, or trying to simulate what it can be in the smart contract in the blockchain level. And then that was much easier than before, where we don't have the LM to support this coding environment.
Thank you, Jason. Beyond audits, how does CertIC use ongoing monitoring, in this case, or threat intelligence to stay ahead of the emerging attack patterns that you observed?
Yeah, we obviously have also a team of engineers to do this kind of on-chain surveillance for this industry, and eventually, this on-chain, whenever we identify such a potential hacks, we'll notify, first of all, the project team, or we'll help them to retract the fund ultimately. Hopefully, that's the case. But I think on-chain monitoring has a long way to go. So, we just have to keep working on it.
Thank you. Alex, as we discussed today, regulatory constraints that are there, how do you help to navigate the tensions between the customer protection and regulation constraints?
Great question. First and the most important part is you have to understand the regulator's policy. And then you have to have a good communication with your clients to stating that your ML policy, privacy policy, etc. And then you have to engage with your regulator. So when you persist to any assets recovery, I think that's the best way to get the assets recovery.
Thank you. Andrew, looking ahead, what wallet-related attacks should we be concerned about, and how is CipherBC adapting to counter those threats?
Well, the common attack vectors, I would say, as I mentioned before, they target either the private key or the approval process. If you look at a traditional wallet provider that deals with end customers, you might be facing phishing attacks, social engineering attacks. If we go a bit further, it might be the vulnerabilities in smart contracts. Remember what happened to Safe.Global and Bybit a few months ago. And of course, there is common misconfigurations at the servers that sometimes cause problems. We at CipherBC provide services to business, so our attack surface is somewhat different, but it doesn't mean we don't apply traditional security measures. We do pen testing regularly to make sure our servers are they don't have any loopholes. We have for our warm and cold wallets, Flexify and CipherSafe, which is, by the way, a new product of CipherBC, and its custodial version is going through the VARA licensing process at the moment. They have two-factor authentication. We have a fingerprint, for example, and we are thinking about integrating even iris as the second factor for the CipherSafe. But if you ask me what makes what lowers the threats, what reduces the risks. I would say it is compartmentalization of customers' assets. And that happens by giving them the custody of their own assets, not piling them up in a central place. And that lowers the risk.
Now, one last question, just to finish off. Everyone, less than two words, or even one short sentence. One piece of advice you would give today to our audience, how to keep their crypto assets safe. One word or one sentence. What would you give them? Yes.
Decentralization.
Decentralization. DeFi.
No, distribute the assets, the keys and everything. Follow that concept, you're safe.
Okay. Who else? Yes, Alex.
Yes, compliance.
Compliance. Use compliant platforms, right?
Yes, use compliance platform, use risk detection tools to do AML compliance, security compliance, or data compliance.
Thank you. Jason.
To retailer users, cold wallet.
David.
I think still agility will overwhelm all these things. It's still how the pace that you can act beyond all these things because the Web3 industry is moving so fast.
Thank you, Dima.
Never use mobile number as second factor authenticator.
Very important. Please mind that. What about email?
It's not that bad as
also not the
mobile
best.
number.
And Michael, to wrap it up.
My suggestion is always open all the security mechanism the exchange provided to you.
Thank you so much. That was really exciting. Please give a big hand to our amazing professional panelists. That, by the way, I'm sure we would like to continue this conversation, but we're so pressed for time. Let's take a quick picture and let's move on to our last panel for today, because as I told you today, it's also about being secure. So security, one of the most important things. We should, I'm also like a bit puzzled which camera we should look into. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure that there will be more questions to our specialists, our experts in security. But let's move on, because one of the most important things that, as I promised, we're going to discuss is building the community, right? Am I correct? So we have here great community builders. I'm so excited to invite on the stage again Nick Turner from CoinBureau, co-founder at CoinBureau. Please give him a big hand. Oh, sorry, Nick. Sorry, Guy Turner. My bad. Guy, I thought you were coming back, and I thought maybe it's your real name. My mistake. So Nick, again, I think, can I ask you, are you in this case the leader at CoinBureau? Anyway, I just wanted to get to know you better. Nick from CoinBureau, give him a big hand. Michael van de Poppe, MN Capital. Please give him a big hand and be louder. Please welcome Desmond, Future Trends. Be louder. Also welcome Annie, Trade Travel Chill. Please give her a big hand. Our next panel, Decline or Rebirth, the redistribution of influence in Web3. Our next session will be moderated by Monica, Director of Strategic Partnerships at CoinW. Give her a big hand and be louder.
Working, right? Hi guys.
Hello.
I hope you are excited. I know we are on the time, so let's dive into it. We know that influence in crypto space is changing fast, right? KOLs used to be go-to voices for insight and education, but right now they are facing some skepticism, right? From accusation of cheating to questions about ROI, right? What's your take? Is this backlash justified or completely misunderstood?
No, I think it's justified. Being in the space, in the KOL space, you see what goes around and you see how people operate their businesses. And I think the backlash is justified from the retail users because they obviously see all the stuff that flows around crypto Twitter, around KOL lists, these people shilling that particular token and everything. And unfortunately, I will say it is not the exception, it's the norm. Although everyone here on this panel is all good and, you know, it is the exception, but I think that that's the case, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. How about the others? What's your take?
I think there's two sides to it. So I think there's definitely the side where there are people who lose control of their values and get carried away with the money that can be made. And unfortunately, they tend to get most of the attention. So others who do hold on to their values and won't do things like that will often just get put into the same pool of those people regardless, just because we're all in the same industry. So I think in some ways it is justified, and in other ways sometimes the backlash is directed at the wrong people who aren't part of that.
Absolutely. I think like in some cases they are all put together, like all the KOLs, even though they are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also both ways. In some way, the past cycle in 2021, KOLs were making a lot of money by just keeping posting about altcoins and stuff, and they kind of drag away with the direction to make more money. There's a second thing to that, which is that posting content on our channels is valuable, so you need to pay for that. But there's always misinformation. So the founders don't know how much of your followers are real and what your impact is. And everybody tries to maximize those financial returns, and that is why you see like the scams and all the things happening. And it's part of a new technology in a new market. And the good part about being decentralized is that the market will work out anyway. So you kind of start getting groups together that favor each other, and the bad ones will just get out of the markets in the short term anyway. So it's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so at Future Trends, we do something a little bit different. Yes, we do show tokens, but we mention why and the analysis behind it. So we always back it up with data, back it up with facts, and we let the audience make the decision whether this is something that you want to partake or you want to pass. I think it's very important to leave the decision up to the audience. So that's what we often do.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we shouldn't put everyone from when it comes to KOLs in one place, right? Like everyone is different, and yeah. So moving on, Nick, you maintain a reputation for deep research and transparency, right? So in the age of influence fatigue, how do you see long-form content and trust-based relationships shifting the role of the KOLs?
Well, when you do long-form content, it's there for a very long time, obviously, and it's organic, right? So the benefit of that is obviously do this content, it works for you for a long time. I think a lot of influencers try and focus on the here and the now, and they do content, and they talk about a particular coin that's pumping right now, as opposed to producing a long-form video that's well-researched, that can be valuable in 6 months' time, that's in a year's time. And there, the video works for you for a long time. So our goal and explicit strategy is to develop videos that have long tail value and are organic and out there for the long time. And obviously we will cover the stuff that is going on right now, but we'll try and provide it in an impartial manner with deep research so people can appreciate that and they're educated instead of being told what to do. And we actually prefer to use the term educators rather than KOL, because KOL is you're trying to influence people's opinions, and that's not what we're trying to do. So yeah.
Absolutely, thank you. Michael, you are known for market insight and technical analysis, right? How do you balance being content creator and educator while staying credible in the space so often driven by hype?
First of all, I think it's being transparent. So if we partner up with an ecosystem that we think is valuable, which I think is fine, then you should disclose that you partner up, which is first step. Secondly, I think doing TA and market analysis, our target is to have a positive impact to the audience. So there's a lot of tables turning every time, and people do not understand why the markets move in a certain direction. And we just like you guys are doing from a fundamental standpoint, try to do it from the technical standpoint, in which bringing more education or knowledge from our experience towards the audience to avoid them making the wrong mistakes that we did at the beginning, and just to be like a gateway for them to just go through the cycles. And that's why I keep on posting content, because I keep on making mistakes and just trying to have a journey for myself.
Ah, that's awesome. That's actually nice. Desmond, as someone exploring future tech, right, and narratives, how do you think KOLs will evolve beyond talking heads? Like, what formats or platforms excite you?
Yeah, so at Future Trends, one of the things that we do a lot would be virtual summits and online events. I believe the future of content will move towards live events. We have worked with Annie, Trevor Chill, to educate our audience, with Nick, that came and educate over thousands of our members. So I think the content will develop into more live events virtually so that people all around the world can attend those events. I think there are too many YouTubers, there are too many crypto Twitter X accounts. People are losing trust in some of them. But when people go to an event, their mental shift is very different, their focus is very different. They trust the authority that's speaking as a speaker more. So I think a lot of KOLs are starting to move towards that direction, especially I'm seeing that a lot in Asia right now.
Absolutely. And Annie, you bring lifestyle and crypto together, right? So what value do you think lifestyle KOLs offer to Web3 beyond just trading tips or news?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to show the life that can be lived as a result of crypto, because there's sort of two ways to do it. I think it adds credibility in one way. I see a lot of, especially if you're a crypto trader, one way to add credibility is to show your trades live. I personally don't like doing that because I am a woman and I travel a lot and I worry about my safety, showing, you know, that kind of thing. So another way to do that is to show your life and how you're living and just live in the success that comes from crypto, so people know that it's authentic and it's real. And it gives people a bit of a break from just doing technical analysis all the time, you know, which can get a bit boring at times. So it just shows people, it inspires them really, because it shows the life that you can live if you dedicate and take it seriously and, you know, don't chase rubbish, basically.
Absolutely. I actually find it very unique, your content. So, guys, let's talk partnerships, specifically what makes a great KOL exchange relationship. So, Nick, let's start with you. What drew you to work with CoinW in the first place, and what has made that partnership feel different, let's say, from other exchanges or platforms you have worked with?
So I think how we came to work with them was we usually do reviews on all exchanges, irrespective of whether we are partner with them or not, right? So we go and give a full deep dive look at security, usability, functionality, all the stuff, and obviously give our viewers and users obviously a full breakdown of what the exchange is. And we did that review objectively, and it was a very good review. And we used that as a benchmark to be able to assess whether we wanted to actually engage with them. And at that time, they were very transparent with us. They came to Raheem. They're actually based here in Dubai. We met the team, extremely transparent and easy to work with. And as a result, that transparency, in an age of where most exchanges hide behind a veil of secrecy, that opened us up with them. So it's been a fruitful relationship so far, and we hope to expand on it.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that, that's for sure. So, Michael, what makes an exchange KOL relationship professional versus just promotional? Like, what do you look for in a long-term partnerships?
First, to have an exchange partnership, I think me as a user should be using the exchange without the opportunity to work with them. That should be the basis. And if I'm actually working or using the exchange and using the application, then I can partner with them. And for us, a partnership is very close. So what we do is we sit with the product teams, we try to innovate the actual exchange, improve all the things that they want to do, be out there, embrace the brand, and just on the flip side, they embrace us. So we are connected with them on, for instance, events, or if we have a partnership, and it's also the other way around. And I think having that deep connection for the long term is why you can actually build a good partnership. And that's kind of the way that we try to do any partnership in this space at this point.
I just took a couple of notes for the future. Okay, Desmond, do you think exchanges underestimate how much creative freedom and alignment matter when working with the KOLs?
Definitely not CoinW. We've been working with Carmen. I don't know if Carmen is here. Carmen is right there. Can we give a big round of applause for Carmen, please? Right? She's amazing.
Big round of applause.
She gives us a lot of freedom in terms of how we want to promote or talk about CoinW and its products. So she let us do workshops. She just said literally do whatever it takes to make it work, right? And we are very collaborative. We always bounce ideas around to see how we can make it a win-win situation. I think exchanges, obviously not CoinW, but exchanges need to learn how to work with each KOL based on their individual strength. Like for us, our strength would be events. So Carmen is very open to do events with us, and she's always organizing things for us. So when you are in a collaborative mode, I think it's very easy to create value for the users.
Awesome. I'm super happy to hear it. Annie, how do you keep content fresh while staying aligned with the platform goals, right? Like any tips on keeping it authentic?
Well, I think, as long as you're always true to your values, it will always be authentic anyway. And I also think that when you're creating content, if it seems boring to you, it's probably not boring to the people watching you.
Absolutely.
So you always have to keep in mind that there are going to be people watching you for the very first time, hearing what you have to say for the very first time. So being repetitive is actually very helpful for your audience. And I also take a lot of inspiration from my audience. So I know they say not to read your comments, but I read all of my comments because they give me content ideas. Whether I read a comment where I feel like someone's misunderstood, that's a content idea to set them straight, essentially. Or I might read a comment that I think is very valid that more people should know. So I think I get a lot of inspiration from my own audience.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. Do we have time for one more, or? Okay, yeah, let's do it. So where do you see the future of the KOLs in crypto heading? Like, are we moving towards products, DAOs, on-chain credential, like, or something else? Like, give me like quick opinion on that.
I think on-chain credentials for sure. I think it's all about verifying a track record. So if you can sort of like authentically prove that someone has a particular track record that they claim if they're a trader, for example, there's on-chain tools who can do that if they trade on-chain, or other sort of authentication methods on exchanges for for social trading and stuff like that. So I think that with sort of like soul-bound NFTs that people talk about could be a way we're going for the future. Yeah.
Annie? Michael?
I think KOLs are going to be bigger, but that's just because brands on social media are going to get bigger in the Web 2 world anyway. Yeah. So that's going to be huge in Web 3, but it's going to be more segregated in the sense that you can kind of see the direction of some groups of KOLs going into the meme coin sector, or like providing real in-depth analysis that we try to do, I guess. So I think it's going to be more groups and bubbles that try to focus on a separate part of crypto, pushing forward there. So I think, maybe it's not the right spot right now for KOLs, but it's going to definitely be larger, but also a bit more restricted by the government. I hope so, at least.
Yeah, let's hope so. Desmond, what's your take?
Well, I think the future of KOL is going to change in a way that I think a lot of KOLs are going to group together and band together to create their own syndicates. Maybe like think about like 5-6 big KOLs grouping together, and then they will be launching products each, and each will promote each other to create a synergy of togetherness to launch products. I see that happening with a lot more mature markets. Crypto is still a very young market, and the KOL world in crypto is still very young. So I believe that the future will be, imagine like 5-6 big KOLs grouping together, each of them launching one product, let's say every quarter, and then they'll promote each other. I think that's how it's going to change too.
Absolutely, thank you. Annie?
I agree with Michael that I think that KOLs are going to become a lot bigger, and the reason I think that is because we're moving into a world where people buy people now, they don't buy brands. So it makes sense if you're launching a project or something like that, that you would want a KOL to promote your brand to their audience because they're going to be the trusted person. But with that, I think that comes a lot more responsibility as well, and I would also like to see a lot more transparency in that. Yes. I think if a KOL is going to be offered a huge discount on an OTC deal, I would like to see that disclosed because it would influence my decision as to the information that I get from that KOL.
Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Okay, guys, I think We're going to wrap it up right now. So thank you so much. And as everyone can tell, the influence is obviously changing, but right now the KOLs, they are so much more. They are educators, they are storytellers, they are community builders, or sometimes all of it in one, right? So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Monica, for moderating. That was a great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. And appreciate each and every one of you who stayed till the end. Today, we're finalizing right now our fantastic, great finish at Token, at our tomorrow's Token by CoinW's event. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely take a picture. Definitely remember this moment. Definitely have, right now, you're going to have a chance to chat with your favorite KOLs, because all of the ladies and gentlemen who are here in our audience, in our ballroom, can go and do the networking at Lazuli Pool Lounge at P7 level. Please remember P7 level, Lazuli Pool Lounge. I want to say again, thank you to everyone. First of all, to CoinW for organizing this fantastic event. They're all the time great with doing events, connecting community, gathering, and discussing important topics. Today, at our tomorrow's token, we discussed the best layer ones, the regulations which make Dubai one of the most appealing to all of the crypto businesses. We discussed security and we discussed community building. I was your host, Maria Movchok. I hope you enjoyed today's event. We're going to have, I believe, with CoinW, plenty in the future, amazing events to build the community and to bring the leaders in the Web3 space under one roof. Thank you so much for coming and see you next time. Thank you.